This news program is proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Now Biscuits.
Kua resigns from Energy Ministry. Government to monitor social media. And airline operators to ration fuel. A very good evening. This is National Emtv News. I'm Louis Maingu. Thank you for joining us. Member for Sinesine Yangomul District and leader of the PNG National Party, Karenga Kua, today announced his resignation from the Ministry of Energy.
Mr. Kua announces this in a press conference in Port Moresby.
Yesterday, I wrote out a detailed letter in which I set out my intention to resign as Minister for Energy. Because, as you know, in the recent reshuffle, prior to that, I was Minister for both Petroleum and Minister for Energy. But in the reshuffle, in the wisdom of the Prime Minister, he opted to remove the Ministry of Petroleum from me and left me with the Ministry of Energy alone.
He said he does this after careful consideration. However, he still questions his removal from the Ministry of Petroleum.
What is the real motivation behind my removal as Minister for Petroleum? I say this because I'm concerned about the welfare of the industry. That is where our livelihood is. So all that work I've done that has been completed or about to be completed now is being threatened. Why? Where have I failed?
Mr. Kua also expressed that he has witnessed over time a decline of standard and productivity in leadership and governance. Accompanying him for this announcement was the member for Hirikoyari, Kit Iduhu, member for Chuave, James Nomane, member for Abao, Sir Dr. Pukatemu, and member for Ijifitari, David Arore.
For my minister not to be consulted for his demotion or removal of petroleum is not only a slap in the face of the Honourable Karenga Kua, but is a slap in the face of Simbu. You've treated us with disdain, total contempt, and disregard. And I applaud and support my minister for his stance today, which is a for Papua New Guinea position, to say that what's happening here is not right, and I commend him. And I'm 100% in support of the position that he's taken this morning. It's not only for himself or for Simbu, but it's for the country.
The Prime Minister, James Marape, today expressed his gratitude for the member of Sinesine Yongomul's service, saying despite Mr. Kua's decision to resign, he respects Mr. Kua's wishes. Natasha Ovoy, National, Emtv News.
While announcing his exit from the Ministry of Energy, Mr. Kua highlighted the unfairness in the country's governance, saying self-preservation is highly regarded among most political leaders.
While expressing the alarming decline in leadership standard and productivity in the country, Mr. Kua emphasizes on how the people seemed forgotten by their elected leaders.
We go to the campaign trail, we campaign to work for the people. We take an oath when we come into parliament to serve the people. But in the end, once all is said and done and the people's attention is not with us anymore, we start to look after ourselves. Everything we do is aimed at protecting, preserving ourselves.
He says everything else, including national interest, were secondary, and this could be seen in the enforcing of the national budget, where financial resources are unevenly distributed, especially among provinces. He adds that this could also be seen in the allocation of the senior positions in the bureaucracy, state-owned enterprises and diplomatic positions, where positions are allocated along political loyalties. Mr. Kua further expressed that at this point, he is more worried of the nation's integrity.
So I feel that losing the ministry in itself is not an issue, but I feel that greater national interests are at stake.
Mr. Koa further states that the dubbed Black Wednesday on the 10th of January illustrates deeply embedded issues to which the government is unaware.
Wednesday of 10th of January and followed over to the 11th is an illustration of the lack of trust and confidence people have in our government. If you look at it carefully, the incident that led to the riots of the Black Wednesday, the underlying reasons are very small. But the people's reaction, the rioting, was totally disproportionate to the underlying provocation. Completely disproportionate. Where's all the anger coming from?
Natasha Rovoy, National, MTV News.
Commending the MP for Iri Koyari, Kit Idu, and MP for Chuave, James Nomane's recent decision in what he described as a bold step for the country, and building on the sentiments shared by member for Sinesine Yongomul, Kerenga Kua, member for Abau, Se Pukatemu, expressed worry of what upcoming leaders may turn out if they are not concerned of the people they represent.
You are now taking over. My group, we are finishing now. You play plan now. And I'm worried that these new leaders that are coming into parliament now, they are into big money politics, big project politics, not worried about passing good laws, good policies, building and strengthening institutions of state so that they can carry when we leaders are gone. It's the state institutions that will carry the country forward.
In the aftermath of the recent riot in Port Moresby, the Prime Minister and Treasurer, James Marape, has indicated that the government is closely monitoring the use of social media in the country with the help from the National Information and Communication Technology Authority. Prime Minister James Marape revealed yesterday that the National Information and Communications Technology Authority have been tasked to monitor the use of social media platforms, emphasizing the need for vigilance in the digital sphere. Marape stated that a team has been established to monitor the manner in which social media is utilized across the nation.
Our communication team, we have a desk set up. They're looking, and the desk is monitored now 24-hour basis on those who spew fake news, those who spew hate news, those who spew pornography, and those who use social media as a tool to create dissension, hatred, animosity, anger, violence, riot in our society.
The decision to monitor social media platforms comes after the January 10th riot, which saw widespread disturbances and riots organized mainly on social media where citizens looted shops and burnt down business houses. NICTA has been given this task to use its expertise and resources.
And so there's a desk full-time on standby, and we're using Section 70 to penetrate those who are holding accounts behind WhatsApps, behind Facebooks, and behind all the internet sites.
While acknowledging the importance of freedom of expression on social media, Prime Minister Marape adds the need for responsible usage and compliance with existing laws and regulations. Prime Minister James Marape also announced yesterday that they have uplifted the suspension of the Secretary of the Department of Personnel Management, Thais Santan. The suspension of Thais Santan has been uplifted after the preliminary administrative report indicated that the financial matters regarding pay are handled by the Finance Department. Prime Minister James Marape announced this yesterday.
Personnel management suspension has been uplifted. She goes back to work, but she's been tasked to look at how we could effectively manage personnel management and payroll better. 10 years ago, payroll was transferred back to Finance Department. We're looking at how we could tidy the payroll aspect and the role of personnel management in respect to payroll section.
As stated by the Prime Minister, the suspension of the Treasury and Finance Secretary is maintained.
As we look deep into what did take place, the indication that some people who were supposed to be at work were not at work in an everyday bread and butter job for finance officers and treasury officers.
Marape continued on saying that the investigation into the Treasury and Finance is still ongoing.
For instance, on the tax relief we gave through budget 2024 was not updated, but there's also a deeper for us to look into, for instance, who brought in the rebates policy, and so those investigations will still run into Treasury and Finance. The two secretaries remain suspended as I speak.
National Emtv News continues after the break. Stay with us. You're watching National Emtv News. The Yanguru Sausoya district in Esipik province has chosen to partner with the Women's Microbank, also known as the Mama Bank, to open a branch in the district for business and economic activities. A memorandum of understanding was signed today between the Yanguru Sausoya DDA and Women's Microbank to start business operations.
The Yanguru Sausoya district is set to host one more bank apart from BSP that has been operating in the district for over 10 years. The MOU signing today saw Yanguru Sausoya MP Richard Maru, the chairman for Women's Microbank Noel Norikgu, and the bank's CEO Gunanid Hidas present to sign the MOU. CEO Gunanid Hidas said this is a way forward for the bank to start reaching out to all districts in the country, giving credit to Minister Maru.
We come to this so far to bring the opportunity to the people of Yanguru Sausoya and nearby districts too, to give not only the just banking services, but as we always say in Mama Bank, that accessible, affordable and accountable banking to the people of Papua New Guineans.
Chairman Norikgu assured that Mama Bank is prepared to take on this partnership with the district.
We see that there is a huge potential in that area. The much of the rural population in terms of banking are unbanked. And so this is our focus area. And the CEO and the management know about it, and we would continue.
Minister Richard Maru stated that he wants the bank to reach out to everyone in the district, even to the most remote villages.
If we partnered you, there will be what we call a financial inclusion, where you can take banking to the villages rather than people coming to the bank. BSP has been in our district for over 10 years. We have 15,000 clients, but they operate in a modality where people come and look for them in our district headquarters in Yanguru. Under this partnership, it will be different. The mother bank must go to all the villages, conduct financial literacy training, and open accounts in the villages.
He also challenged that there is a high demand for another bank in the district, given the increase in business and economic activities. Therefore, the bank must deliver well.
Whether you will deliver or not, that remains to be seen. And that's a challenge I want to challenge the chairman and the CEO and your team. Under this agreement, we are giving you free office space. We are giving you a brand new Land Cruiser open bank, already on order. I'm told it should be here in April. So you can start going to every village to open accounts.
The bank will open for business on Monday, 29 January 2024 in the district's headquarters. However, its official launching will be done on the 9th of February 2024. Francisca Anania, National Emtv News.
Minister for International Trade and Investment, Richard Maru, urged his department and agency heads to deliver results this year. Maru made this statement in a meeting yesterday with the heads of Department of International Trade and Investment, National Trade Office, Special Economic Zone Authority, and the Securities Commission of Papua New Guinea.
Each of the department and agency heads were also urged to review their 2023 performance and to agree on their key performance indicators for this year. Some of the 2024 KPIs agreed on were delivering 4 special economic zones this year, launching of the Papua New Guinea SCZ Foundation policy, and repealing of the Securities Commission Act, among others. Minister Maru said all department and agency must have stretched targets and deadlines of what they will deliver this year as a ministry. Their targets must be what the government wants, and the results produced must impact people in the rural and urban areas as well as move the country forward. Maru further stated every quarter there will be a meeting with the departments and agency heads to see how they progress towards achieving their targets. Moreover, they were urged to show good leadership standards, be disciplined and focused with the right attributes to serve the country. He said the country needed high-performing public servants and not liabilities, stating their ministry is the face of the country to the investors, both local and international, hence setting high standards is very paramount. Gladys Killer, National Emtv News.
The recently appointed new Defense Minister, Dr. Billy Joseph, says one of his agenda as the minister will be utilizing the PNG Defense Force in delivering infrastructural development such as roads and bridges. He made this statement during the opening of the new Tabu Bill to Telefomin Road last week.
The member for Nipa Kutubu district in Southern Islands province and deputy party leader of the Social Democratic Party was appointed to the ministerial role following the recent cabinet reshuffle last week. Dr. Billy Joseph said although the Defense Force's primary role is to protect the nation's sovereignty, they have the engineering and technical capacity there to assist in infrastructural work.
Work belong defense and belong protecting integrity and sovereignty belong country belong yumi. Borders belong yumi. Diplomas locating borders belong yumi. But narabla work belong defense and belong growing na building country belong yumi.
He said as the new minister taking up the role, he plans to utilize the PNG Defense Force Engineering Battalion.
Work belong me building road to, building bridge to. Organization of government, one kind of works in highways. So me like appeal along the Department of Works and Highways, the Deputy Prime Minister and the Prime Minister, that we need to now kirabim, or say one but Driman Blum the Minister. Me like kirabim this engineering battalion so that we can partner with the Works and Highways Department and the government, building roads and bridges in our country once again.
The PNG Defense Force Engineering Battalion in Igam Barracks in Ley was established in 1976 to provide assistance in civil works. They were recently involved in establishing the pilot track from Ramu in Medeng to Baya in Western Islands Province. Edson Kuso, National Emtv News.
And New Guinea Limited responded to Puma Energy Limited to cease the force majeure agreement, which was caused by Bank of South Pacific Limited closing their account.
Acting Chief Executive Officer of New Guinea Limited, Gary Shedon, stated in a statement of his response to a letter they received from Puma Energy Limited regarding BSP's move to close their account on the 8th of March this year. With the alleged event, Puma Energy outlined in their letter they'll force a major event under the agreement that they'll implement temporary supply restrictions on the supply of fuel under the Aviation Fuel Supply Agreement. However, New Guinea Limited demands that Puma Energy Limited continues to perform its obligations under the agreement by continuing to supply fuel in accordance with the terms of the agreement. A failure to supply fuel in accordance with the agreement will amount to a clear breach of the agreement. Such breach will result in New Guinea suffering substantial loss and damage and Puma will be held liable for such loss and damage. NU Guinea notes that Puma took steps to open accounts with other banks like Kina Bank to continue to provide service. Meanwhile, Prime Minister James Marape also announced that they will look for alternatives to solve this issue and provide service. Claire Mauta, National Emtv News.
PNG has announced in a statement that their scheduled flights will be subjected to late boarding and slight delays starting tomorrow, the 27th of January. This notice comes after jet aviation fuel supplier Puma Energy's decision to ration fuel supplies across the country.
The disruption of flights will be ongoing until the supply restriction on jet aviation fuel is uplifted. According to PNG Air, at this stage, upon evaluation of available fuel reserves, PNG Air will still maintain its current flight schedule and will update this in due course if deemed necessary. PNG Air call center team will make its best efforts to be in contact with customers who have purchased tickets for onboard travel who could be affected by these delays. PNGS sincerely apologizes to its customers for any inconvenience this may cause and appreciates understanding during this time as the situation is outside of the airline's control. Gladys Kila, National Emtv News.
Now to the next one market report. The Kina closed unchanged at $0.2674 US in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, your Kina was buying $0.2599 US, $0.3923 Australian dollars, 0.2311 euro, and 37.98 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold is trading lower, coffee closed lower, cocoa closed higher, copra closed higher, palm oil closed lower, crude oil is trading higher, and copper closed higher. On the stock market, the Dow Jones closed lower, the ASX 200 is trading higher, and the All Ordinaries is trading higher. National Emtv News continues after the break. Stay with us. You're watching National Emtv News. 4 warring tribes in the Kandep district of Enga province came together to sign a memorandum of understanding court order recently. This is a step aimed to put an end to the prolonged tribal conflicts that have plagued the region between the 4 tribes of Tamu, Ipain, Mago, and Yanian for several years.
The ceremony was witnessed by dignitaries including the Auxiliary Bishop of the Catholic Diocese of Wabeg and Bishop Deputy of Caritas PNG, Reverend Bishop Justin Ain Sungi, the Kandep District Administrator Mr. Henry Apakali, the Provincial Law and Order Director Mr. Nelson Leia, and other notable guests including government officials and members of the disciplinary forces. During the event, Bishop Justin delivered a heartfelt appeal to the warring tribes, urging them to abandon their tribal ways and work towards building a peaceful and harmonious community. Addressing the gathering, Mr. Nelson Leia emphasized the importance of adhering to the MOU. He warned both parties about the potential consequences of the terms stipulated if the MOU was violated. The event marked a historical and significant turning point in the Upper Wage constituency of the Kandep district, paving way for a brighter future. As the community embarks on this path of unity and reconciliation, it is hoped that the scars of the past conflicts will heal, fostering mutual understanding and collaboration among the once divided tribes. Representatives of Caritas in the Catholic Diocese of Wabeg, who initiated the peace mediation through various trainings and awareness, were also present to witness the occasion. Francisca Anania, National Emtv News.
Leaders and representatives from Kutubu of Southern Highlands Province called for the Poroma leaders and their people to return the ambulance car which was hijacked yesterday within 7 days in good condition. They call on the police and leaders of Poroma to work in collaboration and identify the people who took part in the incident.
This is not the first time for Poroma to attack Kutubu people and their properties, says the council president John P.P. Killer. He confirmed that few years ago, an ambulance car was hijacked on their way to Kutubu, and this is the second time.
This ambulance mean bain blongen emi no private car blo one blo man. Mean bain blong all people blo mi long foina faso. Pimanga police, Poroma police, woglo disbla na arrestin disbla man. Na disbla ambulance blo mi bla give him blo liters blong Poroma kare mi golong ela motos na kare mi kan beg nu bla ol se mas kamalo Pimanga.
Chairman Moses Miwayo stressed that Kutubu people have been attacked by Poromas since the new road was constructed, and this must come to an end.
So one time ba only stop him. So mi bla appeal lo leaders of sema iga leader lo Poroma long give him awareness lo boys lo lo name lo road also senam na road block na pagaram mi bla ogata.
A businessman from Kutubu, Roy Basik, highlighted that lack of law and order is an issue without the presence of police force in the area.
This la problem blo holim up car na stone him car na even one blo man blo mi blo all kill him lo this la road finish all shoot out some years back. Tubla. So this has been an ongoing issue lo mi bla all Kutubu. Na mi bla all Kutubu ino ka one bla biro one time Poroma. All gara time all touching all property na all line blo mi bla hold up.
The leaders strongly call on responsible authorities to identify and arrest these culprits and return the ambulance car in good condition. Estagane, National Emtv News.
The Barrack Band of Rabaul, a household name from the 1980s that has left an indelible mark in the music landscape of Papua New Guinea, is set to embark on a new chapter to continue its legacy. The band has regrouped to record a new album called The Legacy Lives On.
Compromising 10 carefully selected tracks, this forthcoming album will offer a unique opportunity for fans to immerse themselves in a collection of Barrack's most cherished songs from the 80s and 90s that have never been re-recorded and released while preserving and honoring the band's enduring musical legacy. Donald Leslie, Barrack's celebrated lead guitarist and original founding member, expressed, and I quote, "With the recording of The Legacy Lives On, we have embarked on a heartfelt journey to revitalize and immortalize some of our most treasured compositions from the late 80s and 90s.
Mikisim Karlong Lamis, not binding ego downtown Rabaw Lepo. Kalaplong palusigo na matanay. Nakarana si pulimigo kibia istap sore. Misabe ting ting long you one time.
The album will pay homage to the origins while embracing the fresh energy and artistry that Juan Low, Roy Leslie, and Anslom Nakikus bring to the band. The decision to re-record and release these timeless classics underscores Barrack's commitment to sharing the musical heritage with a new generation of listeners while paying homage to the profound influence the band has had on PNG and musical identity. The Legacy Lives On promises to be a poignant testament to Barrack's unwavering passion for music and their enduring impact on the Papua New Guinea music scene. The album is scheduled for release on June 15, 2024. Gladys Kila, National Emtv News.
National Emtv News continues after the break with Trukai Sports. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. Koyari Rugby League Secretary Alfred Talingapua visited the newsroom to make an urgent appeal to the Papua New Guinea Rugby League and its affiliates to come together and establish a National Rugby League Symposium this year.
The Secretary of Koyari Rugby League, Mr. Talingapua, made his urgent appeal to PNG Rugby Football League, the government, National Rugby League, the 4 confederates in the country, plus all the affiliated leagues to work together in establishing a National Rugby League Symposium in 2024.
The rationale of the symposium is to ensure that we go back history for the last 50 years, how rugby league has came about, in all factors of structures, capacity, sponsorship deal, infrastructure, and then we look ahead for the next 50 years on how we would bring rugby league to the next level.
He further went on to speak on the development towards the sporting code.
So far, there is a lot of doubtiness in the pathway, development pathway of rugby league. So we can see that rugby league is a #1 sport in the country. So what we are trying to do is trying to overhaul rugby league. So a symposium is a significant forum or mechanism that can bring all stakeholders together so that we chart a new way forward for rugby league. So we can have a 1-week forum inviting all stakeholders like former Kumul players, former zones players, former administrators, those rugby league followers who have been involved in rugby league for the last 50 years, they can come on board, have a panel discussion, a round table talk, and then we come up with a white paper, PNG Rugby League white paper that will give us that direction for the next 50 years. So you can see and understand that rugby league is a sleeping giant in the country. So I'm appealing to NRL PNG, including NRL Australia, to come in a big way to assist us.
Claire Mauta, Trukai Sports.
The National Capital District Commission Community Sports Program was launched today at the Murray Barracks, Aussie Rules Oval in the nation's capital. The NCDC Sports Front Desk brought forth all the electorates in the nation's capital to have its grand finals held at the Aussie Rules Oval after the launching.
Before the launching of the NCDC Community Sports Program, the Aussie Rules Oval had electorate sporting teams flooding into the Oval with the various sporting codes to participate in the grand finals. The various sporting codes games kick-started after the official launching of the NCDC Community Sports Program. As the grand final games were occurring, Simon Nuabo, who is the NCDC Community and Sports Front Desk Officer, spoke of the program's initiative that NCDC has officially launched.
The program that we are currently running now is the Community Sports Development Program. We have been hosting this competition in all the communities around the city. Must be Northeast, must be Northwest, must be South. Since mid last year. And currently the teams that are playing now, they are the grand finalist teams. We bring them together here at the Murray Barracks, Aussie Ovals, to play their grand final. The aim of the initiative is to bring the communities together and develop sports at a community level to create opportunity for them to expose their talents, also create opportunity for them for social activities and also economic activities as well in terms of SME marketing and all this.
The sporting codes that made it into the grand finals were touch footy, soccer, netball, basketball and volleyball. Claire Mauta, Trukai Sports.
That ends Trukai Sports. The Money Plus weather report is next. Stay with us.
True Kai Sports. True Kai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
The weather forecast for the next 24 hours. Southern region, Port Moresby City, partly cloudy and windy. Daru, cloudy periods with few squally showers. Kerema, mostly cloudy with few morning rain showers. Alatau, partly cloudy with few rain showers. And Popondetta, cloudy with few showers and possible thunderstorms. In the Mamase region, Ley City, mostly cloudy with few showers. Medeng, some rain showers at times. Wewak, partly cloudy with few showers. And Vanimo, partly cloudy with few showers. In the New Guinea Islands region, Lorengau and Kavieng, partly cloudy. Kokopo and Rabaul, partly cloudy with some shower. Kimbe, partly cloudy with few rain showers. And Bougainville, cloudy periods with few showers possible. In the islands region, Mount Again City, partly cloudy, then morning fog. Goroka, Bans and Kundiawa, some patchy showers and rain drizzles with possible thunderstorms, then morning fog. Mendi and Tari and Wabeg, partly cloudy with chances of few showers and then morning fog.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
And that wraps up the news, sports, and weather for Friday, the 26th of January 2024. From all of us here, pleasant viewing. Bye for now.
This news program was proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Gold Nuggets.